Hi, I'm Dr. Ivan Misner, founder and chairman of BNI. I'd like to talk to you about International Networking Week 2012. International Networking Week for 2012 runs from February 6th through February 10th. It's an initiative of BNI's. However, networking organizations around the world are welcome to participate in this annual event. Thousands of organizations all around the world have celebrated International Networking Week since we started it just a few years ago. The purpose of International Networking Week is to celebrate the power of business networking around the world. Each year I talk about a particular theme for International Networking Week, and this year I want to talk about business, networking, and sex. I have your attention now, don't I? Business, Networking, and Sex. That's the title of a book that I co-authored with two good friends, Frank DeRaffaele and Hazel Walker. In that book, we did a survey of over 12,000 business professionals on every populated continent in the world. And one of the things that we found was that 91% of the respondents said networking was critical to their success in business. 91%. When have you ever seen 91% of any group of people agree to anything? That's why International Networking Week is so important. It's about focusing on the success that people can have through business networking. And now, I'd like to introduce you to my good friends and co-authors of Business, Networking, and Sex, Frank DeRaffaele and Hazel Walker. And be afraid, we never know what they're going to say.
Hi everybody, I'm Frank DeRaffaele and
Hazel Walker.
And we're the co-authors along with Dr. Ivan Misner of the book Business, Networking, and Sex.
Not what you think.
Not what you think. And we're here today to wish you a great International Networking Week. And I actually wanted to talk to you about, in our book, we got back over 12,000 surveys from people on every continent around the world. What we found is men seem to want to go for the transaction, go for the kill, if you will, get our ROI as quickly as possible. Women do it differently.
Did you know that men have a tendency to be more transactional than women, while women are far more relational in their networking?
Well, and transactional means that we're really looking to close the deal. I mean, this is a business networking, so we have to go out and make sure that we're going to be productive. We're going to get some ROI here, right?
And relational means that we build great relationships. It's natural for a woman to build great relationships, but we have a tendency to not go for the transaction.
You know, and here's the real problem is, as men, we think the transactional way to go is the right way because we're getting ROI. But we're networking, we're obviously talking about building long-term successful relationships. And what we found is the VCP principle, visibility plus credibility equals profitability, is not the same for men and women.
Men jump from visibility to profitability. They want to go straight to the transaction. They want to close the deal. They speak to each other a little bit. They build a relationship and some rapport based on impressing one another, and they go straight for the deal. You're doing a little bit of premature solicitation. It's kind of like the first date and then asking the woman to...
Okay. I have never had premature solicitation. I just want everyone to know that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Because he builds relationships, that's why. But a premature solicitation means that you're asking for the business before you've built the relationship. On the other hand, women, we have a tendency to get stuck in credibility. We'll build great relationships, but guess what? We sit and we wait, and we ask for the person to do business with us.
When we talk about the VCP principle, visibility plus credibility equals profitability, what we found out is men and women, we both use it. However, we use it differently.
Men jump from visibility to profitability. They want to go straight to the transaction. They want to close the deal. They speak to each other a little bit. They build a relationship and some rapport based on impressing one another, and they go straight for the deal. That doesn't work with women.
And I think what's really important is when we're looking at when Hazel's talking about going from visibility to credibility for profitability. For men, we think we're doing it. With other men, we kind of go and we tell each other how great and fantastic we are, and that's how we impress each other, and we feel that's building credibility, and we can go to profitability. The problem is that with women, that doesn't work.
We're not impressed.
No. So when I go and I'm trying to talk to a woman like I talk to a man, that's when it doesn't work. That's what we realized. We can't network the same because we look at things from a different perspective.
Think of it like dating. You go out on the very first date, you have a dinner, maybe a drink or two, and you start to build the relationship. If you jump from that point and say, hey, you want to get in the backseat of the car or you want to go make out, you've made a premature solicitation. But if you slow down a little bit and you build that relationship, you will get more for your time invested. People will do more business with you, and they're more likely to refer business to you when you take time to build the relationship.
So when I'm on a first date,
Right.
and I finish the dinner and the drinks, don't try and go for the back of the car? Is that what you're saying?
Don't try to go to the back of the car.
I wish I knew this a long time ago. That didn't work for me then.
It also applies to business. Dating and business are very much alike. When you consider networking is about relationships, dating is about relationships too. And this year, International Networking Week, we really want to encourage men and women to slow down, learn the styles of each other, and begin to network a little more effectively.
Yeah, so even if you're networking locally, it's the same with men and women. If you're networking with someone around the world, men and women are the same. Remember, we got this from every major continent. So we know we are the same in terms of how we're different. And we have to make sure that we start to learn more about each other. Okay, we have to learn how to communicate better so we can make our networking and our relationships better.
I think that's about it for this week.
Hey, everybody, have a fantastic International Networking Week. Again, I'm Frank Drafley.
And I'm Hazel Walker.
And on behalf of Dr. Ivan Misner, thank you so much and have a great International Networking Week.
Hazel and Frank spoke a little bit about transactional networking versus relational networking. And I'm here to tell you that relational networking is a much better way to generate business. Whether you're a man or a woman, the people that focused on relationships rather than transactions did much better in our survey. Now, I was doing a presentation a few weeks ago, and I was running some ideas by my wife to talk about the difference between transaction and relationship. And I said to her, hey, when I speak to the audience, what do you think if I ask the audience, I'll start with men, men, raise your hand if you have a relationship with your dry cleaner. And then I'll say, ladies, raise your hand if you have a relationship with your dry cleaner. And I told her that many more women would raise their hand than men. And she looked at me and she said, honey, I'm not so sure I do that. I mean, I don't really have a relationship with Richard and Diane. I know they have 2 dogs, and I know that Diane really wants to go to Israel, but that Richard's afraid of flying. And then she was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I do have a relationship. And I said, Richard, Diane, is that the name of our dry cleaners? It can't be just a transaction. It's really all about the relationship. And whether you're a man or a woman, those of you who build relationships with other people are going to generate more business through networking. Different people, different places, different races, different religions, different countries, different cultures. We all speak the language of referrals. We all do business with people that we know and trust. And that's what International Networking Week is all about. I'd like to thank the sponsors of this year's International Networking Week, the Referral Institute, and Entrepreneur Press for sponsoring this video today. Thanks for watching.
Hi, my name is Mike Macedonio, the president and partner of the Referral Institute. The Referral Institute is a proud sponsor of the International Networking Week, and we have been from the inception. We'd like to wish you a very productive and enjoyable International Networking Week.
Hi, I'm Leanne Harvey with Entrepreneur Press, the book publishing division of Entrepreneur Magazine. We're proud to be a sponsor of International Networking Week and the publisher of the new book, Business, Networking, and Sex, It's Not What You Think. We hope you'll check it out at entrepreneur.com.